to GPP Master Week 5 Strong and Value video. Last week was a tough week. After coming in the money in majority of lineups and in the money winnings-wise 2 of the first 3 weeks of the season, with a very near miss in Millionaire Maker in Week 3. Week 4 was just one of those weeks you have to move on. The reason why we have a bunch of experts on our team here and we tell you to play within 20 to 30 lineups within your budget is so you can diversify. If I have a bad week, hopefully Willie or Bill or Dan or someone else on the team has a strong week and our tools have a strong week, and that allows you to diversify. Hopefully I don't have too many. That is part of it. And we say that all the time. You have to play every week. All it takes is one to win. I keep repeating that. All it takes is one to win. You're not going to cash every week. You're just not. And last week was that week for me. So hopefully we'll bounce back this week. One thing going into this week, obviously, we always talk about on GPP Master and really in any fantasy game, being aware of the weather. It's usually not as much of a factor in football, but we get the hurricane bearing down on Hurricane Matthew on Florida, Carolina. You're still up in the air what's going to happen down there. So I don't know how it's going to get handled on DraftKings. Do they move the game to Tennessee? Does it be clear out and they play it? Do they cancel it? Do they postpone it? So you just want to be aware of Miami, Tennessee specifically, and to some degree Carolina, and the weather. Because in baseball, obviously, as you know, if a game gets canceled, the game gets canceled. And you don't want to lose a player. So just be aware of the weather. If you're going to use players from those 2 stadiums, stay on top of it as what they're doing. You certainly should know what the deal is well before game time. So this won't be one of those situations like a baseball rainout. All right, heading into the week. Man, I like a lot of quarterback sacks this week. And as I talked about last week, oh, by the way, I changed my location today for a little bit of good luck. So working out of my office instead of the conference room with the GPP Master TV in the background. A lot of quarterbacks. Last week we talked about quarterbacks. Pick your quarterbacks, then pick your receivers to start your lineups. I'll often play 7 quarterbacks. So I like quarterbacks this week. On the strong side, I'm going with Aaron Rodgers and Andrew Luck. I like them both. Luck is playing against the tough Bears defense, but I don't think they're as good as their statistics show. And Luck is just due for a huge game at some point in here. He's at 7,300. Rodgers at 7,700. I am going to play Tom Brady as a Patriots season ticket holder in one lineup, stacked with Edelman. But Brady is going to be the clear chalk. And the problem with the Patriots is they spread it around a little bit, and they could run. They could punch 2 in from the 1. So I think that's one I'm going to own once, but stay away from massively in a bulk of my lineups. So again, Rodgers and Luck. I think the Bears, as I said, defense is tough, but Luck is due. The Giants and the Packers game should be a complete scoring affair if you look at the over-under totals and where the defenses rank. On the value side, I like Eli a lot at 6,000. And Ryan Fitzpatrick against the Steelers, not going to be high-owned at all at 5,100. We'll come back to that. They're going to Eli again, 29th passing defense for Green Bay. Both wide receivers 1 and 2 defensively. Green Bay ranks dead last, 32nd and 31st against wide receivers 1 and 2. So you get a really nice stack there, which we'll come back to with the receiver. Also like Flacco a little bit, but I think the Ravens kind of could run, could pass. So again, looking for New York here with Eli and Fitz. Running back, I love C.J. Anderson. Atlanta is weak against the run. Atlanta is overvalued. Denver has quarterback flux with the injury. We don't really know what's going on there. Atlanta has a terrible passing defense, but C.J. Anderson can catch the ball out of the backfield. Atlanta is 30th against running backs who catch the ball. So C.J. Anderson, strong value pick, and then on the value pick, love Ryan Matthews for the Eagles at 4,600. I think Wentz looks for that safety valve. I think Matthews can run. Detroit's weak against the run. Detroit's weak against the pass. That could turn into a high-scoring game, and I just think Ryan Matthews, healthy and back. Just check his injury status, but as of now, healthy and back. He'll lose some touches to Sproles. You could take a flyer with Sproles too, by the way, but I'm going with Ryan Matthews there. Wide receiver, so starting with the stacks on the strong side, I am actually stacking Rodgers and Cobb. I love Jordy, but the Giants' real weakness is against a wide receiver too, which is Randall Cobb. So I'm going to stay away from Jordy in this case mostly and stack with Cobb. And then with luck, I'm going to stack with Hilton and just go for it and maybe stack Jack Doyle. We'll come back to that at tight end. And with Eli, I'm double stacking OBJ and Shepard, the wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2. It's a big week for Beckham. He's been mouthing off. He's unhappy. It's a big game, and either it will fizzle and the Giants will get killed and we'll be wrong, and then we have Rodgers on the other side, or OBJ will go off. The other one, value, love the Jets receivers with Fitzpatrick here. Brandon Marshall is expensive at 7,100. Inanawa, if Decker doesn't play, which I don't think he will, but we don't know yet for sure. Inanawa at 4,600. Guys getting 7 to 8 targets a week. Like them both, single stack, double stack, incredible value. That's going to leave you a lot of room for your flex, your wide receiver, and your running back. With Fitzpatrick at 51, Ian Winawa at 4,600. I also like Edelman. If Brady's going to go anywhere, he's going to go to his best buddy, who's been loyal to him. Wide receiver 1, Patriots. I like Steve Smith. Again, I like Jordan Matthews. And Marcus Whedon a little bit. Sammy Coates more than Antonio Brown because you have Revis going to be on Brown, and well, he has had a rougher year. He's still Revis. Tight end, Strong. Again, keeping an eye on the weather factor here. If the weather is okay and the game is played and it's not crazy bad weather, I like Delaney Walker at $4,700, period. I love him in this game. And on the value side, there's a lot of cheap tight ends this week. I like Zach Ertz against Detroit, 3,500. I like Doyle. Again, Luck-Doyle combination at 2,600. And I like Hunter Henry, against the weak Oakland pass defense if Gates is out. So again, if Gates is out, if the weather's okay, Walker, Henry. And on the defensive front, kind of like the Dolphins on the value side at 2,900 against Tennessee. Again, checking the weather. And on the strong side, I like the Rams actually, which is kind of a medium strong play at 3,200. So again, take your quarterbacks, stack them with your 1 or your 2 stack, depending where you're doing, vary it up, fill in the running backs. I think those are, real good picks this week with Anderson and Matthews, and then kind of go from your tight end from there. And hopefully it'll be a better week. Keep an eye on the weather.